Hey, what's happening, everybody? It's Damron. I'm back in the saddle. It's been a while, so we're coming right back into it. We're on our Crash Bandicoot N Sane Trilogy walkthrough, getting all the platinum relics and all the gems in the games. We've already completed Crash 1. Now we're on Crash 2. We're on the first level of Crash 2, Turtle Woods, and just like Crash 1, we're going to show a platinum relic run. I'm going to break it down in a little bit of slow-mo so that I can show you details. It doesn't really apply as much on the first level. Again, this is one of the easier levels in the game, but as we get into the more challenging ones, having that slowed down guide I think will help you out a lot. And one of the things that I want to mention that's very different from this game as opposed to Crash 1 is the speed shoes. Okay, so before we try any of these relic runs, you're going to want to get speed shoes. I'm not going to mention this in every video. I'm going to cover a lot in this particular video. That's just a general overview. But when you beat the game and you get all of the 25 normal gems just through your normal playthrough, you'll unlock the speed shoes. And the speed shoes allow you to run faster as long as you're holding right trigger. And that's really going to allow us to get these platinum times. In fact, some of the levels I think without the speed shoes is basically impossible unless you're hacking. So we'll go ahead and let this run out and we'll talk a little bit more as we do the breakdown. Alright, so there you go. We got a platinum time of 44.91 seconds. This is a pretty tight window because the platinum time on this is 45.47. Now keep in mind, just like Crash 1, you don't necessarily have to get platinum relics if you don't want to. The achievement is tied to grabbing gold relics in every single mission, so if you're really struggling on a certain mission, like I mentioned in Crash 1, feel free to grab that gold relic and move on. I'll show you all the platinum relic runs just so I can break them down. The first level in this game, it's not too difficult. It's pretty straightforward. The thing about these really straightforward levels is there's not a lot of room for error and there's not a lot of room to like really pick up your pace. It's pretty straightforward. You really need to get all the time boxes, and as we're going through the guides, I'm not going to go over all the details over and over, but our time boxes are the ones that have the 1, 2, and 3 on them. Again, whenever you hit the 1, it's going to freeze time for a second, so it's really critical that we get all of them and we get them pretty quickly. Really, this level's platinum run is all about these 3 jumps right here. It's the very beginning of the game, and generally it's telling you to go down there and kind of fight the mole rats, but if you slide, jump, and spin, you should be able to clear that gap pretty easily. So you're gonna kind of want to slide, and you can actually see I take off. It looks like I'm in mid-air. If you slide, you're gonna have some distance that you can go over that gap and then jump and hit your spin button, and you'll kind of launch over that gap, and that's really the way that you're going to get platinum on Turtle Woods. This is a pretty easy level to get through. Again, it gets a lot harder as we go on, I'm sure many of you know, but in comparison just to Crash Bandicoot 1, I will say Crash Bandicoot 2 is significantly easier in my opinion to get all of the relics and all the gems. So if you've been with me and you finished Crash 1, you're going to get through this one pretty easily, I think, with the strategies that I show you. So that's it for the platinum relic in Turtle Woods. Now we're going to be getting our box run. So going forward throughout the guide, just like Crash 1, I'll generally show you how many boxes are right at the beginning, but for some reason I didn't press Y to show it here. But there's 62 boxes to grab in Turtle Woods, and again, this is one of the first, or this is the first level, so it's very straightforward. Everything's going to be pretty much right in front of you. It's not particularly challenging. One of the things right here is this kind of secret door. You're going to need to body slam that in order to come down here and grab the boxes that exist on this kind of bottom portion of this particular level. So as we're going through, another thing that's different really from Crash 1 is we also have death routes, and when applicable, which is most of the time, we'll be able to combine our death route gems with our box runs, and I'll be doing that. So we'll, it's just more efficient. Sometimes we can grab that, backtrack a little bit, and we'll still be able to get all the boxes. One of the levels you really can't do that on, I think, is the very last level of the game. But overall, we'll be able to combine all these things and we'll be able to kind of get everything as efficiently as possible. Now, right here, be sure you don't miss these boxes right here in between these 2 birds. So when we went back down there and grabbed those, if they dug their head into the ground, don't worry, you can still make it up to those top. You saw me do that by the you know, slide, jump, and spin. That's just sliding, jumping, and right as you jump, if you spin, you'll get a little bit more elevation on your jump. So all of these little tidbits that I'm talking about now, again, I'm not going to cover every single time. I don't want to be talking the entire video, but we kind of got a lot to cover in this first mission, which is nice because, again, it's pretty straightforward. Now, our bonus levels are the ones it's going to show you on the bottom. You know, it'll actually show you how many boxes are there. There's also the nitro boxes. So sometimes when you finish those bonus levels, it won't have it all complete. Like, let's say you're at 2 at 5, but 3 of them were nitro boxes. And sometimes at the end of the level will be the exclamation box that will then explode all of your nitro boxes. So don't worry about that. As long as you're following with me, I promise you that I will not lead you astray, and we will be sure to grab everything. So we're really approaching one of the very few boxes that you can miss right here. It's kind of just deceiving. It's up above this turtle, so you want to kind of jump on this turtle, and then when he's now flipped over, we can jump up and blow up that box. I think you really could slide jump and probably spin up to that box as well. But the thing is when you come up to that point, sometimes that box is out of view and you can easily run past that. So that's one of the ones, if you were to miss one on this level, it's probably right there. As long as you got all 62 boxes, the gem will pop up right here. So we'll grab that. And we do have a special gem on the very first level of the game, which is our blue gem. So we'll grab that. So we'll come out here. But also, one of the things that I'll talk about in the kind of areas where you go into the levels, you can see the pillars to the left of the actual entrance to the level, and that will show you what you've collected and what you're still missing. So you can see we got the blue gem here and the red gems on the next level, and it's a little bit duller than when we collect it. And for the blue gem is simple. For our very first level, to get the blue gem, all you need to do is complete the level without breaking a single box. And there's only one tiny tricky area that you need to get past in order to successfully do that. The rest of them, as long as you don't spin and jump on them, you should be able to get this color gem very easily. The only last thing I'm going to mention as we're kind of going through this, there are some secret exits to some of these missions, and the order of the levels that are going to be in my guide may be different than some of the orders of other guides, but again, we will cover everything, all 27 levels, but this is the area right here. When you get to this part, the way you're going to jump over this is simply jump on that box that has the apples in it, and you should be able to bounce off it without destroying it. So that's really the only, you know, semi area where you might accidentally break a box. But again, this is very easy. Finish this level, grab your blue gem. We'll chat a little bit at the end, and we're just getting started with our Crash 2 Insane playthrough, grabbing all of our relics, all of our boxes, and all of our gems. Booyah! So there you go. We've got the clear gem, the blue gem, and our relic run on Turtle Woods. That's the first level. Let's get it out, put it in the pillar. I hope you guys found that helpful as always, and hopefully I'm going to see you in the next video as we cover Mission 2 in Crash Bandicoot 2.